Hi everybody. This video is the first of a multi-part series on professional portfolios in data science and related fields. There is a variation of this video on my blog that will link to in the description of this video. This first video addresses the purpose of a portfolio. The next video will look at several examples. The other videos in the series will go in depth on different tools for building a portfolio. The data science minor at my university has a portfolio requirement. In fact, you may be watching this video because you are in a one-credit course, Data Science 401, in which you will work on your portfolio. A lot of undergraduates doing portfolios in any field of study are doing a portfolio because it's an academic requirement. I want to convince you that a portfolio is something you do for yourself. I want you to think of a portfolio as a public-facing website that allows you to control how you present yourself professionally to the world. But first, if you have academic requirements for a portfolio, be mindful of those requirements. For our data science minor, the requirements are that the portfolio includes at least 3 projects or assignments from courses in the minor, in addition to the capstone project, in which the students reflect on data science competencies. I'm going to devote a separate video about how to structure those types of academic portfolio requirements into a professional portfolio. If we look closely at that requirement statement, the key word is reflect. The purpose of the portfolio is as a mechanism for having you engage thoughtfully with what you have accomplished and learned through the courses in the minor. But the broader purpose of a portfolio is encouraging you to establish the practice of reflecting about your work and your life. Portfolio as a practice. You will benefit greatly by shifting your mindset away from thinking about a portfolio as an academic requirement. There will come a point where you realize that the majority of your life is no longer as a student bound to academic rubrics. Strive to develop the practice of reflecting deeply in written form, whether that's journaling every morning in private or occasionally in private, or whether it's writing in public. Portfolio as a practice in public. Making your thoughts about your own learning and failures in a public forum is intimidating, potentially revealing those vulnerabilities we hold very close within ourselves. Yet, writing in public forces us to think carefully, to express ourselves with a level of sincerity that we might overlook if we are only tashing off an assignment that will be seen by no one other than the professor. A drawback of writing in public is self-editing out any blemish that might actually be worth our own deep introspection. We live in an era where a web-based portfolio can serve as our calling card to the world. Writing in public on the web is a personal choice. A part of me admire those friends of mine who have nearly kept their entire existence hidden from the world. If you're in a career where you have any public presence, then you owe it to yourself to establish an ongoing web-based portfolio. And if you're comfortable with having a LinkedIn account, then you have already established that you're okay with presenting yourself professionally on the web. Like any form of writing, consider your audience. A web portfolio is not the medium for sharing your wild antics, unless you're an entertainer whose stature is built around crazy publicity. You have to decide your audience. A web portfolio allows you to control how you present yourself professionally to the world. A web portfolio presents your interests. A web portfolio conveys your identity in terms of all the aspects that make you who you are as a person. A web portfolio need not include your photograph. That's your choice. A web portfolio is brief. A web portfolio should leave others wanting to know more about you. A web portfolio is more than a LinkedIn page listing your basic stats. A web portfolio is more. And that's where the reflection comes into play. A portfolio highlights what you want to highlight. Over a period of years, you'll find yourself editing your portfolio not just by adding content, but by removing outdated content. On my own portfolio, I no longer list my education because I feel that something I did 30 plus years ago lacks relevance to the person I am today. And I know that's a nearly insanely heretical remark from a college professor. And if you look at this very moment, or that I did this recording at my website, then you will quickly notice that I have no reflection, very little reflections about myself. I mean, the process of updating that site as I work on this video series about portfolios, but I still intend to keep it brief. Whereas on my blog, there are many ramblings that I have posted since 2005. I've made the cornerstone of my site a short reflection, less than 60 words, that describe how I view my life's work. I come back to this statement every year. It still holds true, though I will have to change it as my daughter grows into an adult in a few years. Fundamental to my professional interests as a librarian, as a software developer, as a writer, as a reader, is understanding how we tell and read stories, both fiction and nonfiction, in digital media. The feature of my young daughter's life is the lens through which I view the changing shape of creativity, learning, and leisure in the 21st century. For this video on portfolio as a practice of reflection, I want to leave you with this exercise. How would you describe your life's work? Can you describe it in less than 2 sentences? You may or may not choose to put down your portfolio. Your life's work is not necessarily your job, though at some point you want to be able to align your professional work with your vision of what you're doing with your life. If you're still in college or about to graduate, you may not even know the scope of your life's work. That's okay. For myself, I really did not grasp this concept until my late 30s, though I truly wish I had thought about it a lot sooner. Again, it's okay if you don't know. Even if you know, you will go through different stages in your life, but keep coming back to that question. In the next video in this series, we'll look at a number of professional portfolios on the web and identify features that might be suitable for your own portfolio.